food. Welcome to the Prophecy Club. This is going to be one of the most important broadcasts that I have ever made in my 30 years of making the broadcast. The topic is September 23 and 24. There's a catastrophe coming. Now, let me make it clear. God has not told me that anything is going to happen on September 23, 24, or 25. But I'm a watchman. And if you're watching this, you also are a watchman. And a watchman is commanded, according to Ezekiel 33:6, if he sees the sword come, he is to warn the people. Blow the trumpet. So I'm blowing the trumpet. Now, can I guarantee something's going to happen September 23, 24? No, I can't. Did God tell me? No, he didn't. But based upon what I'm about to show you, I think you will see something big and bad, a catastrophe, a disaster is about to hit. Okay, so what's it going to be? It could be the internal revolution with what they pulled at Mar-a-Lago. Perhaps some people are getting sick and tired of that. It could be suitcase nukes. That could happen any day. It could be a financial crash or death of the dollar. It could be poisoned water. It could be a big drought causing electrical outages. Now, my guess, I did say guess, my guess is it's a financial crash. Probably a financial crash of the stock market based upon the prophecies and the information I'm about to show you. You really should share this with all your friends. U.S. freight railroads prepare for potential strike disruption. Major U.S. freight railroads on Friday said that they're preparing for a possible strike. The owner, which of BNSF, owned by Berkshire Hathaway. Now, I cannot say that Berkshire Hathaway or their employees or their clients are Moloch and Baal worshippers. But I can say that they are part of the 1% that own the 99%. These are part of the people that control the world. This is part of the people that are probably the problem. Contract negotiations between railways, including BNSF, Union Pacific, CSX, and unions, representing 115,000 workers, hit an impasse this summer after more than 2 years of talks. Failure to reach a settlement before a cooling-off period expires. Here it is, September 16th. And would you believe FedEx is also about to have some kind of a big, not FedEx, excuse me, UPS is also about to have a major strike if they don't get some kind of an agreement. Is this an accident? Well, you remember one of the headlines was a perfect storm. And we see this is happening all over. Let's go on. This comes to us from a pastor I have never met and never heard of him before, but this comes to us. Louis McGeorge, associate pastor at the New Promise Christian Fellowship, said that after a week of fasting and praying for our nation, he received the following short prophetic dream. In this dream, I was with some friends in Kansas City, and they were redecorating their home, taking things off the wall in the back rooms and putting them on the wall in the main hallway. My old pastor came in, and someone asked him to tell us what he knows. He said, there will be a crash in Germany on the 25th. That was the end of the dream. Now, that's one person. Let's count up how many people are saying a catastrophe arrives specifically. Matter of fact, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Prophet Leslie, my wife, says that God never gives dates. Well, things of the past may have changed here because we know in the last days God is going to pour out his spirit on all flesh. Your old men will dream dreams. Your young men will see visions. So it may be that we've crossed a line or about to cross a line, and he's going to deal with his people differently. Let's keep going. Neville Johnson, prophet of God, long-time proven prophet, back in 2013 said, I saw another devastating economic collapse. I saw Japan and Germany. Remember that, Japan and Germany. I think this is the third one that mentioned Germany. I saw Japan and Germany were some of the triggers. I saw an earthquake devastating Tokyo, which is also a trigger as the Tokyo stock market. That's the first time we heard stock market, but it has to do with finances. Stock market closed indefinitely, and the U.S. was seriously affected by this. It was revealed to me that none of the banking safeguards, which were recommended after the last economic meltdown in the USA, had been put into place. Why? Because people in high places, the Moloch and Baal worshippers, want to see a meltdown of the old system based upon the Bible so they can bring in their Novus Ordo Seclorum, a new system that will start out secular, but it will turn to be the Antichrist. This economic collapse will be far more severe than the last one. Many churches and Christian organizations, along with large corporations, will fall into bankruptcy because of this. I'm going to show you somebody else that says almost the same words. See, the Bible says in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let a thing be established. You want to know how to know that it's God? When you get 2 people that don't even know each other having the same dream, that's what the Bible says. That's confirmation. This comes from David Wilkerson back in 1973. I saw an economic recession affect the lifestyle of every wage earner in the world. The world economists are going to be at a loss to explain what is happening. It is going to start in Germany. That's the third one that said Germany. Spread to Japan, then the United States. Large trusted corporations are going to go bankrupt. Many churches are going to go into bankruptcy, and some missionary projects are going to flounder. That's the second time it said churches are going to go into bankruptcy. Terry Bennett, 2011. The angel then pointed his finger to Germany. That's the 4th time we heard Germany. And said that the German economy will stumble and that there would be an exposure of wrongdoings at some high levels. I'm going to show you that said again too. Such as banking, economists, and even government leaders. The angel also spoke of bad investments, like with Greece, that would be a factor in this stumbling. He also saw the following newspaper headlines from the future. The mission, impossible mission, helping the woes of the euro. The altered landscape of Europe, new nations emerge from chaos. That was on the front of Albert Pike's book, Morals and Dogma, and it says ordo ab chaos, which is Latin for order out of chaos. Order? What order? A new world order. Out of what chaos? A chaos, in my opinion, they are about to create. This is a created chaos. German and French currency unveiled. Others consider participation. Greece, Italy, Spain joined German and France alliance of economies. This headline says nothing will be the same after September 25 and 6. This comes to us from James Bailey, and he has Z3 News, I believe it is. He says, in a dream on August 24th, I was speaking with an unseen person and told them nothing will be the same after September 25 and 26. Now, I think this is the 4th person we have so far that specifically mentions that date. Let's keep going. Shane Warren was told that when the Saudis start selling oil and another currency, the dollar will crash. August 24, 2021, Saudi unlocked from the dollar and began selling her oil other than a dollar. Then Xi of China just went to see the Saudis just this last month. Now, I haven't heard any results of that meeting, but what if, when they come out of that meeting, what if they announce it and they say, we're not going to sell oil just in, let me read back. We're not going to sell oil in just dollars anymore. We're going to switch. We're going to only sell oil in yuan. What would happen to the dollar? Now, all of the nations of the earth that had to have dollars on hand in order to buy their crude oil, it was necessary. Now they don't need those dollars, and the market will come flush with them, and the dollar will fall in value like a rock, like the prophecies say, almost overnight. Headline, the U.S. dollar drops 30% in value. Subtitle was, Middle Eastern oil strikes deal with China instead of the U.S. Chris Reed was shown that in a vision. So is it that the U.S. dollar is about to drop in 30% in value on the 23rd, 4th, or 5th? I do not know, but if I were you, I would make certain that I had some cash on hand, because what the scenario is that a lot of people have been told that when this happens, the banks, not only the stock market, but also the banks will just close. Now, if they're closed for a few days or a weekend, that's one thing. But what if they're closed for 2 weeks? What if they're closed for a month? And what if they shut off all credit card services? After all, that is what Daniel Davis was shown. They didn't accept dollars when he pulled up to buy gasoline. So I'll tell you what was on my list to do today, since I don't have any cash around the home. I was going to go down and pull a little cash out of the bank, just enough to cover me for at least 2 weeks and possibly a month if I can get that much. Charles Turner. Now, I've read this several times, so I'm just going to get right to the point. I saw cash dropping into an abyss type of place. There was no end of it. Cash, here it is, was disappearing into the darkness. In other words, They're getting rid of the coins, getting rid of the paper, and we're going to a digital system. I saw dollars begin to start fading on each side to the point where you couldn't see the numbers on the bills. I was made to know that the dollar is going away in a cashless system of digital numbers. That's what they're doing. They're about to bring in the cashless system. It won't be an overnight thing. Matter of fact, it'll probably not be until 2024 before the cashless system comes in. What they're doing now is they're about to crater, they're about to crash, they're about to destroy the old financial system called the SWIFT system, all based upon the Bible. Our world today based upon the Bible. Chinese president doing Saudi Arabia to tighten economic ties. Here it is. This is where he was going down to Saudi Arabia. Now, we never did hear the results of that. Russia plans to decouple from the dollar, euro, and the SWIFT system. And that's in the progress. Could it be that it's all about to happen September 23, 24, 25? Russia is looking at its own gold standard after LBMA ban. And they have already started backing the ruble with gold. Now what's the dollar? Dollar's backed by PFA, plucked from air. Nothing. Oops, German legislature let slip the date. This is what I've been excited to get to show you. So he says a German legislator took to the floor of the Bundestag this past week and let slip a date, September 24. This is it. I'm going to play him actually saying it, but he's going to say it in Germany. But here's what he says. Dear colleagues, this 24 of September 2022 will be a day remaining in our memories as a day we will say, I remember exactly where I was. For example, do you remember where you were when you heard about JFK's assassination? Probably most of you don't, but I do. Do you remember where you were when the Challenger accident happened? I do. Do you remember where you were when 9/11 happened? I can remember. Those are all really, really big things. And this guy, a German legislature, would not take to the floor in the Bundestag and say this if something for sure was not up. I think our count is up to 4 or 5 people that are now saying September 24, 23, 24, 25, any one of those days. Why? Because that's the weekend of the Feast of Trumpets. Let's go on.
Liebe Kolleginnen und Kollegen, dieser 24. September 2022 wird uns allen als ein Tag im Gedächtnis bleiben, von dem wir später einmal sagen werden, ich weiß noch genau, wo ich war.
So you saw him saying the date 24th. So what's going on to take place? What do they know is coming, or better still, what are they planning? I think it's a planned event. As he speaks the date, September 24th, there is open and audible surprise and grumbling of the audience. So they know, too. In other words, many of the people in the audience know something's coming. They didn't just know the date. All he did was just give them the date. And clearly a slew of them were surprised and not happy what he said. A Russian legislature, Vladimir Zavransov, whatever, took to the floor of the Russian Duma on February 22nd, saying the world will see Russia's power. Okay, that happened. On February 22nd was when Russia invaded Ukraine. Now, we better listen. Hal Turner again, financial guys, 3 times more extreme than 2008. Every once in a while, there's a chart, he says, that blows your hair back. In years of doing this, none stand out like this one. Last week, institutional traders bought $8.1 billion worth of put options. Now, you remember that there was a bunch of people that had bought a bunch of put options on some of the airline stocks just before 9/11 happened because they knew that 9/11 was going to cause the value of the airline stocks to fall? See, that's what a put is. It's saying, as soon as the stock reaches this lowered amount, I automatically can buy it. So when someone spends $8.1 billion, first of all, if you got $8.1 billion, you know something, okay? I mean, you obviously know something to get that kind of money. But to put $8.1 billion into put options, they are saying, I believe the stock market is going to go down here very shortly. I believe it's so much, I'm going to put $8.1 billion into backing up my bet. This is probably one of the stronger secular reasons we say something is coming real soon. And the date we keep getting is September 23, 24, 25. For what it's worth, this is 3 times more extreme than 2008, when everyone knew things were going to crash, and they did. Is this signaling the mother of all crashes? Will, by hyperinflationary crash through demand, destruction? The related financial news, the average 30-year mortgage climbed 5.8% in highest level since 2008. In other words, these experts are saying something's about to happen. Something's about to happen 23, 24, 25 September. What is it? I don't think it's suitcase nukes, but I can't rule that out. I don't think it's the internal revolution starting, but that could happen too. But everything that I'm seeing is all talking about a financial crash. Federal Reserve details digital dollar. Now, we talked about this, so I'll keep moving, but the point is we are moving to a digital system. And you've heard the old saying, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Well, if the old system, based upon the Bible, based upon the SWIFT system, is not broken, you don't need a new digital system. So what we've got to do is break the old system to bring in a new system, and apparently that's what they're about to do.